Welcome to season 2 of your favorite Mom and Son podcast, Mom Knows Ball. Mom, how the hell are you?
I am good. I am so pumped for football, for college football. This time next week,
no more rewatching games on SEC Network from 2014. You're going to get the real thing, like in real time. That's crazy.
I'm repping my Bama t-shirt. And so, hey, this season we decided our bread and butter is football. And we are unapologetic about the fact that we are so biased for our two teams, the University of Alabama and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So that's what we're going to focus on. It's going to have to be a really big sports story for us to talk about.
And
something
also,
else.
Let's be honest, our two teams are going to be in the thick of the championship playoff conversation, obviously. So it's going to be a natural thing for us to talk about. Like, the Jaguars aren't going to be like 2-14 wondering about their draft picks. Like, that won't happen. It will not happen. We're manifesting that.
Yes. And so today we're going to do some mindless yapping about Alabama and Jacksonville. And then we have a guest, Kimberly Thomas,
first guest of the season, kicking it off the right way.
And you'll get a chance to you'll hear her story. So look.
And I'm just going to say it now. Rumors have it. I don't
know what you're getting ready to say.
That she might know a little bit more ball than the namesake host.
Okay.
So there's another mom out there who's on Mom's Corner. So they even were wearing kind of the same outfits.
Okay. Right. So here's what I will say today. Tam, our producer, was supposed to be on the show, like, with us, and
she's here in spirit.
Her internet, her Wi-Fi went out last night, and so Tam, I promise you, we're going to be appropriate, and we are
well moisturized,
of course, and we're going to do you proud. So, okay, just a couple of things about Bama football. Coach DeBoer did something different than what Nick Saban would do, which is, waiting until like the first game or after the second game to name the starting quarterback. He named Ty Simpson as the starting quarterback. I've been watching the film on this guy, okay? And so I'm liking what I see. I like he's got good arm strength. He's got a pretty quick release. And so I'm excited. I do think we need to make sure that, being the starting quarterback at Alabama and playing in your first game as the starting quarterback, that is a lot of pressure.
It is a lot. And people don't talk about that enough. Okay. And so, again, I'm not from firsthand experience, but I feel like I would know, yeah.
Yeah, Jordan would know from his middle school JV squad. But anyway, I want us to give him a moment to get into the rhythm. I would have said, 2 weeks ago, hey, we're going to rely a lot on Jam Miller at the beginning because he's back. But then he goes and gets injured, in a scrimmage. I think they said it's an upper body injury, like a strain.
He'll be all right.
And so, he's only going to be out there. I'm thinking they're speculating for a couple of games. So that means he'll be out for our first game.
And when's our first game is next Saturday? Can you give us a little, who are you going to be there? What's going on?
So I'm not going to be there, but I'm going to be there in spirit.
Okay,
so we play Florida State, and, we already got, some trash talking from the QB from Florida State.
He was a child. Just remember that.
Thomas Castellano. Kids, yeah. I think I'm saying his name right. But he's made a couple comments. One that, our defense can't stop them because we don't have Nick Saban to save us. Then he leaned in harder and said he stood by that. And then I think he made a comment last week or so that the toughest defense he was going to go against was the defense that he goes against in practice. I love confidence. I'm a big confidence person, but And on any Saturday, any team could beat anybody. But I just wouldn't, if I'm the opponent, I just wouldn't do that. And so what I love is at SEC Media Days, they asked Tim Keenan III, and I think he might be one of the captains for Alabama this year. They asked him what he thought about those comments. And his response was, and I love it, disrespect will be addressed. I said, I'm nervous myself. So, and
that's the same thing Mom says to me after every time we record a podcast. Disrespect will be addressed. So, unfortunately, I will probably have to deal with that at the end of this. No, I like the response. I think it was classy, but got to the point. It'll be I feel like we never play good openers, and we're always on the winning side of those openers. When's the last time, knock on wood, we lost an opening game? But yeah, we're in the perfect spot. We're 8, so it's not like too high of expectations. Everyone's still doubting us. There's a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, but we got an adult at quarterback, the 22-year-old, soon enough we'll probably have a 30-year-old, maybe a 32-year-old, maybe a 33-year-old who lives in Los Angeles. I don't know. I mean, it's the possibilities are endless. But I'm optimistic. And what we always know about Bama is there's going to be about 15 NFL players between offense and defense. And so we'll have plenty of skill position players to root for. And it'll be, yes, our defense, left a little bit to be desired last year, but I think we always have had, ever since Saban kind of made that switch in the mid 2010s, a very prolific offense. So points will be scored.
Yes.
Will they be prevented? We don't know, but hey, the disrespect will be addressed. So.
Disrespect will be addressed. And my last thing about Bama, I am predicting that Ryan Williams will win the Heisman. Now, granted, y'all know I'm biased, but this dude is a magician. I was there at the Georgia game when he made that catch and duck and run. And I am telling you, while I was watching it, I was like, did he really catch the ball? So that's what I'm predicting. So, when we play this tape back later on, y'all are going to like, Mom really didn't know ball. But then our second team, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Duval! Can you please be good? I need you to be good. I just, what are we doing here? Please.
We can't see the L, so it looks like it's
okay. Well, you guys get the picture.
Lawrence.
It's Trevor Lawrence. Do you have your glasses on? It's okay.
So what you got?
And I'll take as the true fanatic of the Mom Knows Ball podcast with the Jags. Look, everyone's like, oh, this could be the Jags year. Every time this could be the Jags year, it's not our year. And by our year, it's like it blows up in our face. I am optimistic, and I think for the first time in a while, we are getting the casual fan to care about the Jaguars. We went through so many phases of being a laughingstock of the league, from they're going to London to Bortles, even though he got us to a championship, so no disrespect, to the swimming pool stuff, to whatever the hell Urban Meyer was doing. But we have kind of a boring team now, which is good. We want that. We got this, this new head coach. And the biggest ticket seller is Travis Hunter, and what are we going to do with him playing both sides of the ball? I think that's going to be very fascinating. If it's going to be, I think we'll get to see which he's true, because they really did make it seem like he was down the middle even, which there's no way he's the exact same skill level at both sides. I'm sure he's good at both, but let's see I think it'll naturally progress on what he's more skilled at and what we should be highlighting as much and putting more snaps on that side of the ball. Next, with the giant head of hair in the room, I can't tell if that is a great joke. Trevor Lawrence. And
You think it's a great joke. That's why I'm laughing.
then there's the giant head of hair in the room. That is a great joke. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence and his Goldilocks. And if he's actually the QB of the future, or if it's time for us to move on. We got a very talented quarterback at Texas that would look great in some teal and gold. So I'm hoping with this new coach, now don't quote me on this, but he might be the youngest head coach in Jags history. So hopefully he can transport Trevor Lawrence back to his Clemson playing days and get him playing like a young buck, because we haven't seen it. It's been up and down. Hold on to the dang ball. Like the fumbling, I've never seen a quarterback with just egregious fumbles like Trevor. And like I can deal with the pick if you're trying for something, but even in this preseason he's fumbled it. So I really need, if he starts fumbling it and when we get off to a bad start, I'm just gonna say it now. The fold for Archibald Chance will start to commence. And yes, I came up with that myself, and I want full credit. Hashtag fold for Archibald.
Okay.
Like fold for Archie.
Okay.
So I'm ready. I'm ready to risk it all for Archie. I think he'll be done after this year. I know it's his first year as a starter, but he doesn't need to play tiers at Texas.
Yeah. Everybody's excited about Archie.
I can tell you're not excited, but I'm excited about it. Anyway,
you were excited about the big fight at the
Jags. That's my thing. It's like,
preseason.
that's the great thing about being a Jags fan, because I'm not the stereotypical Jacksonville fan. There's a different look that I'm like missing a goatee.
So you're just trying to offend everybody.
No, we love that for Duval. Like I love Duval. I own my Jacksonville. It's just a different. They love their Jags. They love swimming in pools during football games, as do most of us. And so we're a unique fan base, but I don't think we're a toxic fan base. And so we did get a little viral moment outside of the field with two fans. One Jags fan wearing a Travis Hunter jersey. Again, we're playing this on the road. The hype is already starting. I don't think we travel very well, so it's good to see us at a Saints game. And I wouldn't say anyone won the fight, because it's like just the basis of being two grown men fighting at a preseason game is like, that's tough. And like in the like concession area, they weren't even like out on the field where there's like a cool like gladiator aspect to it. And then one of the pants falls down, and like, I don't know what kind of pants. I mean, these things just like drop. Like it wasn't like it's slow. Like you could see. I mean, it was like Three Stooges level of comical, of like these pants were made to drop like that. And then they both just fall down at the end. So it honestly, like, I want to give the edge to our Jacksonville guy, but it's a preseason fight. I appreciate the enthusiasm. I think it's great. Let's get excited about the season. And to do it in a Travis Hunter jersey, just saying, kids making buzz.
Very special. It's a very special start.
Yeah.
And so, okay, we're gonna, like I said, we are gonna be Alabama and Jacksonville Jags. So we're gonna be your spot for, quirky takes for both of the teams.
And if both of the teams, if both of the teams make it to the championship, we're going to both of the championship games. Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Yes. And it's going to be all expense paid by someone's mother. It sounds
absolutely
like,
not.
Yeah, so we're gonna
and all season we are going to be making sure that everybody knows that we think Fred Taylor should be in the Hall of Fame. What are we
doing, guys? Like, the hate is just all-time leading Jaguars rusher. Did it the right way. Basically only played for one team. I mean, he did go to the Patriots. We won't talk about that. But I'm hoping this is the year the committee votes him in. He's been, a semifinalist, a finalist. I know we got Baselli in there, but I think it's it's Freddie T's turn.
It is time. He needs that gold jacket. Okay, enough from us, and
check out our socials. I guess my mom is made it basically her like dancing, like I don't even know. I watch it without the volume, and I just hope that she doesn't, fall. So apparently y'all enjoy that content. So
They do.
it's
They do
they
like my
do they
videos.
do okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
and I'm kind of famous because I was on Paul Feinbaum last week,
She was on
and
fine. Yeah,
I got a chance. I actually called in twice because two people mentioned what I
really
said.
normal
So,
behavior. Yeah.
and then I told them I had to go back in to defend myself. So yeah, I'm
She
kind of
probably calls
famous.
like, "Hey guys, you know me, I'm Melinda's." Like we don't, but apparently she's a regular on the show. So
Okay,
yeah,
so now let's just move straight to our guest,
this is a
first
great
guest of
interview, guys.
season 2.
Seriously, like lock in for this. We love Kimberly, and yeah, enjoy.
Okay, so welcome to the Mom Knows Ball family, Kimberly Thomas. Yay!
And
Welcome. Thank you so much for coming, Kim.
Thank you for having me. This is really exciting. It's the first time I've been on a podcast, so I'm super excited.
Okay, it's a piece of cake. After today, you're going to be a podcast guest and starting your own podcast, and you are our first guest of season 2. So it's kind of special. Okay.
yeah, and like again, you said it's your first podcast, and someone else famous recently had their first podcast, Taylor Swift. Honestly, like after this, who knows?
Put me in the company with Taylor Swift. I'm sure.
I think it's like, hey, this is some big headlines here. So don't sleep on Kim and Mom Knows Ball. So
okay, all right. So Kim, I'm going to just share a little information with our Mom Knows Ball family around your background. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail. I want you to share whatever you feel like sharing, and then we'll get this party started. So,
sounds good.
Kimberly Thomas, first of all, is my sorority sister, so I have to say that.
AKA,
we're AKA.
Pick
it up. And went to law school at the University of Alabama, lives in Chattanooga now, works for the University of Tennessee in Chattanooga. And I believe you work in the business school around student success. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so that's just a little piece. What else do you want people to know about you?
Well, I have sort of been married to football. Not sort of, I have been married to football most of my adult life. My father was an educator. He and my mom were public school teachers, and he was a coach before he became a principal, and he had to give up the coaching part. So we spent quite a bit of time going to sporting events, and I never thought I would marry a football coach. I thought I was marrying a school teacher. And we would live in one city, and I would be in Alabama, and that's what I thought my life would be. But football has taken us all over the country, all over the world, literally, and we've met so many people and had so many experiences that I wouldn't have had without football. But it also caused my career path to take some unexpected turns and pivots and stops and starts. And I've had to reinvent myself and my career and my narrative many times to find a place in a professional setting. I practiced law. I got licensed in Alabama and Florida. I worked for Social Security as a staff attorney for about 4.5 years. And I was licensed in Florida, worked as a prosecutor for about 2.5 years between being a paralegal before I sat for the bar, and then time after passing the bar. And then I took about 13.5 years away from work to raise children, and found my way into higher ed about 11 years ago. So I've served as an assistant dean in the conduct office, a dean of students, and now a director for a success center in a college of business in Chattanooga. And still trying to reinvent myself yet again and really dial into what Kim needs to do right now to feel complete and excited about waking up every day to help people. So I'll talk about that some more later, but yeah.
We love that.
We love that, and that's exactly why we are where we are, right, Jordan?
Yeah, I think it's for both of us. It doesn't matter the age gap. 40, 50 years between us. I respect your ability to adapt and transition because, I always think about like for a former athlete like myself, making that transition from playing on the field to, now doing sports in a different fashion. So like, how do you think that happened for you and for your husband and your son? Like, was that transition harder than, they made it look, or was it kind of like a seamless, hey, I'm going to be, right under, like it was natural for them to just start coaching and being on the other side of it?
Jordan, can I just interject one thing before Kim answers that? So we understand Kim's connection to the University of Alabama. Because your husband actually played for the University of Alabama as well.
Correct.
Ricky Thomas.
Bama Psi-Phi.
Bama Psi-Phi. That's the fraternity for Bama football players, Jordan, if you didn't know.
And I wish they would send him one of those nice Louis Vuitton gift sets that they give to all the other former athletes.
Exactly. I know, right? But our second team that we focus on, because we are, we're biased and we're unapologetic about
that. The second team I focus on, she's fair weather.
Okay, Jordan, I let you talk about being a former athlete.
Duval. Yeah, diehard, annoying, unapologetic Jags fan. So it's the contrast growing up of watching Bama win natties and watching the Jags lose to the Texans on Thursday Night Football in mustard uniforms. I think honestly, it built character. So
it does.
Yeah, as a sports fan, I've seen it all.
Resilience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we always say sports is about so much more than what happens on the field.
Exactly.
What's your connection? I know what it is. I think Jordan knows what it is. But for our Mom Knows Ball family, what's your connection to the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Well, I credit myself with raising a son who would enter the NFL as an employee. So my son is an area scout for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's been in that role for 5 years now. I taught him all he knows about football. So
yes,
and I prepared him well.
Educating sons about football.
That's right. He sat with me in the stands,
this is how it's done.
And learned about what the flags are for. And so they won't give me credit for that, but I was the one in the stands for all of those years, raising him.
I totally get it.
And watching games and
you were
making sure.
You were crushing tape, late night film sessions.
All of that.
Putting down, you were getting after it. That's respect right there. I don't even think Mom was doing that. So watch the same game every other day. So
yeah, so this is Mom Knows Ball. So I'm a mom, I know ball. Kimberly is a mom, she knows ball. So
I think
Jordan...
Kimberly, Kimberly might know more ball. Kimberly knows more ball than you, which is the first time.
Look, I would love to be like Peyton and Eli, get to sit and watch a game and help people walk through it from the standpoint of,
so Kimberly,
a woman's perspective.
Who's like shopping around for a new host as the mom figure. Would you? Again, maybe we can sidebar about it. But I'm just keep your line open. You might get the call if Melinda can't figure out her audio issues.
Okay.
You're gonna be in so much trouble, Jordan.
Oh yeah,
this is literally my shield because I can do this, and then I'm like, oh, it was just for the podcast, but I get a very angry call afterwards. So I know it's the risk versus the reward.
So Kim, Jordan asked you as a former athlete, we're going to do athlete in air quotes.
Oh, wow.
I played in
especially football, Jordan. You played 1 year of
it was
JV.
It was an electric year.
It was electric.
It was electric. There was a lot of potential. I just don't think they let me really spread my wings on the D line. So
yeah, I thought you were the center on the offensive line.
But I played both sides. I was a center. I didn't really like.
Oh, you were Travis Hunter before Travis Hunter was.
Yeah, Mom,
and that's special for a lineman. I've seen Lawrence Sapp play D line and then tight end, but I don't think I've ever seen him line up on the O-line. That's impressive.
Yeah, I was slow, so I was like, I don't know if I was just slow, so they just kept me in nose tackle and like literally both sides of the ball. So good times.
Okay, so anyway, we'll get back to Jordan's football career, but he was asking like with your husband and with your son making that transition from being on the field to being off the field, how difficult do you see that was for them, and then maybe even for the for you all as a family.
Yeah, I think for all of us, uncertainty is probably a great word to describe the life of a football family. Even when you think the team is doing well and you got one more year to prove yourself, you get the phone call says, "Hey, so we're going to be let go." You may see that in the news. And you start trying to figure out, like, now I have to get the kids through school to finish out a school year. I don't really know where we're going. I just know we won't be here. I've always tried to teach my children to remember that the football role was not their job, and so that they could have some independence from it. So we tried not to talk about it publicly, and we didn't, I encouraged them to talk about the things that concern them and that interest them. And I tried to build some circles of friends outside of football so that I could, it wouldn't it wouldn't take over my life and my thinking, because it was already stressful enough, to go to a game and really know that your mortgage is on the line every week, or that you may have to move. And for my son, there were some challenges because he went to 3 high schools, and trying to adjust to life in Indianapolis versus, Clearwater, Florida, and Reno, Nevada, 3 very different communities, 3 very different high school experiences. And then he went to college in 2 cities. For my daughter, who went to Spelman College. Shout out to Spelman.
All right.
I'm a Spelman mom, very proud. Yeah. Her freshman year, we lived in Indianapolis. Her sophomore year, we lived in Florida. Her junior year, we lived in Nevada. So that was, it was quite disruptive, I would say. And, but on the other hand, we went to 2 Super Bowls. We did a couple of Pro Bowls. I got to go to Tokyo to the Japan Bowl when the Colts played the Falcons in Japan. And so, there were some fun times that I think many NFL families wish they would have, or that you look forward to having. And the reason that you play for a lot of reasons, but ultimately people want to go to championship games, and you want to be recognized for your labor. And those type of events at the end of a season, you want to play more than the 16 games or 17 games or 18, how many games they're going to end up with. Yeah. You want to play, you want to play beyond the regular season, as a family, and, as a part of the actual team, whether you're management or on the, coaching or playing, you want to play more games. And so I'm excited about that, but it's difficult when you get rooted in a community, you build some friends, and then you have to pick up and go. And often people are saying things like, "Oh, you'll land on your feet. Oh, we're so glad we got to know you, and hopefully we'll keep in touch." And your heart's breaking because you don't got to tell your kids.
That sounds all nice, but we don't know.
We got to go start over again.
Yeah, exactly. What was the longest? Sorry to interject. What was the longest stop you guys had when it came to his playing career? Like, what city were you in?
So my husband was a coach. He was on the coaching side.
Okay.
So our longest stint was in Indianapolis with the Colts. Okay. We were there for 10 seasons.
Oh, wow.
And so it's funny too, when people talk about life in calendar years, we reflect on seasons.
Yeah.
And how many seasons you lived in a place.
They don't talk about how much, because it's always, you hear about the player side of it, but the coaches are doing that, the whole song and dance as well, of like waiting on, because if a new coach comes in, are they going to keep the old staff? Most
Correct.
Not, they're going to want a new one. And obviously, like, it seems like he was there for the Peyton years. So
he was there for Peyton years.
Yeah. So the stability was clearly there. There was one guy calling the shots with Dungy. But yeah, I mean, it's got to be kind of I guess we'll wait and see, or hopefully it's new.
And then when Tony retired, Jim Caldwell was the quarterback's coach, and he was elevated to head coach.
Which I'm sure is refreshing for anyone on that staff when they hire internally, because then you're like, all right, well, this guy knows what I'm about. So
yeah, and that's always what you hope, is that there's not pressure from some other area, for you to be asked to leave because they need to,
they got to
improve in some area. Like, so I was happy for Ricky that he was retained when Jim Caldwell was the head coach. So
your Super Bowl was with the Colts.
With the Colts, correct.
With Tony Dungy.
The first Pro Bowl was with the Tony Dungy era in Tampa.
Okay.
And then we went with Tony to the Colts.
So the Bears won.
The Bears was the win, and then we lost to the Saints.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I remember. Okay. All right. So just to, look, we're Alabama fanatics. Okay.
Correct.
And so I don't know if you saw.
Like Roll Tide. Like, I always say it twice because I got 2 degrees.
Are you an Alabama fan? I don't think we know.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, so I don't know if you know, Kim, but last week I got a call into Paul Feinbaum, and I gave my take on the Alabama fan base, what they wanted to see to really embrace second-year coach DeBoer. And I got a lot of pushback because for me, like, I'm a fanatic. And we haven't had a natty in 20 years. Excuse me.
He's giving Phyllis now. It's just so
since 2020. Since
the long
2020.
drought. Yes.
That's a long drought for us, Jordan.
It is a long drought. And so I said, for us to truly embrace Coach, we needed to get to the natty. Now, I have talked to many people since then, and they have said, Melinda, you need to be drug tested. I've talked to people.
I agree with that.
I've talked to people who are like, well, I'm not expecting a whole lot. To me, that feels like a defeated attitude for me. And so, what are you expecting from year 2? Jordan, let her answer the question.
The first year, I thought it's hard to come behind a legend. When Bear Bryant stepped down from coaching at Alabama and Ray Perkins came in, that was a shift. And the same is true. Nick Saban came to Alabama. I remember when he left Miami to come to Alabama, I forgot where I was at the time, but someone was like, can you believe that? I'm like, absolutely, I believe it. Like, I believe if they called my husband and said, will you come be the head coach at Alabama? I'd be like, here's your bag. I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah, the boxes will be packing.
Let's go. So I completely understood that. And I think this year, I'm hoping that DeBoer has settled into his own, and that the players who have decided to be there, because that is a big decision these days about, where you play and how long you stay at the school you choose to go to. I hope that they will all find a way to work together in spite of all the new issues with, who's got NIL money and how much people have and all those things. That they can put that aside and focus on team and process and, listening to the coaches and following some of those rules. So I hope that he can show some balance this year, and that he has defined clearly what his program is and what direction they're trying to go. Because I think it was hard last year because we all had expectations based off of the last administration. Yeah. And I think now he will have to probably stand up to some of our fanatical fans and say, this is what I'm doing, and I need you to get on board with me.
But Nick did it this way. I don't understand why. Well, it worked with Nick.
Jordan, do not do that Southern accent, okay?
I can do that because I'm a descendant of Alabama, okay? Like, it's not mocking because
you get a pass.
Yeah, I'm a Southerner.
Here's the thing. I get it. I am one of those fanatics that is like, I refuse to accept. Like somebody yesterday said, look, if we lose 2 games and we get into the 12th spot in the playoffs.
I don't like losing.
Yeah.
Period.
Are we really claiming that? So,
It seems like y'all just wanted to, because I didn't love the first year of the 12-team playoff. I didn't. It was too many games.
I'm not sure that was a great idea, because we're still at the same.
Great. Yeah, it's like
at the end.
Yeah,
you're still got 3 teams. You're trying to decide
finals games. Those
who
games
the better teams are,
and to have like 12. It's cool because you can get someone like a James Madison play. Realistically, James Madison is going to get dog walked off the field by Ohio State or any other team. Sorry for the James Madison faithful. Probably not going to subscribe here, but I just I don't. And then the end. I think Saban left at the perfect time. I think yes, there was some personal stuff, but he saw what was coming. Obviously, there was a little bit of it in those last couple of years, but this NIL, this basically who can pay who the most, I find it a little icky. I know it's good the players are getting paid and I want that, but it's the they promised me a sports car, a watch, and a lollipop, and I get to play every down. And it's like, all right, but they promised me this and this and this, and it's like,
a lollipop.
I'm just saying, these guys are they're guys who have been to 4 different colleges, and again, I still have a year of eligibility left, so I've considered
you should go back.
Maybe I can waive some offers. I'm waiting on said offers to come in, but I got tape out there, so we'll see.
So Kimberly, we know that football is a part of your family, but you talked about how you really were very deliberate around that not being everything for your family. So are there any projects you're working on, any business endeavors that you have that you want to share with our Mom Knows Ball community?
Yes, I have actually started a consulting business called Sister in the Shadow Consulting.
Ooh, like that name.
That's a good name.
And Sister in the Shadow has had many evolutions of what it would be and was going to be, and now what it has become. But I chose that name because a person that I met when I lived in Reno, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do next, said, why don't you have a blog, because you are a very good storyteller and you're a great writer. And I was like, I didn't even know what a blog was, to be honest. And she said, well, I'll tell you what to do, because she wanted to get into the business of building blogs for people, building websites. So she was like, you could be my test case and I'll walk you through this. And so I just did whatever she told me to do. And I started telling stories, and mostly about parenting, because that's what I knew best. And so a lot of the stories are just about my family and about raising children. And I always felt like I was a kid whisperer. And I think, and mostly with children who are in transition. So whether it's middle school, so probably around the age of 12 or so to about 25. So that's why I think college students, I enjoy working with them so much, because they're trying to make big decisions about life and what direction to go. And they really need a stable force. And so that's where I started with this idea of Sister in the Shadow. And I picked that because I had been in the shadows of so many movements and caretaking. And I found myself always as Lola's daughter or Charles's daughter. She's the younger one in the family, and she's the Davis grand. And, but I never really had my own identity. I felt like, she's their mom and his wife. And, it was always some other title that was given to me. And I was always in the background trying to make sure that everyone was taken care of and that things were happening. My father died in 97 in January, and my mother had a stroke in 2008. So I can remember playoff games where they were calling me from the nursing home to say, your mother is on her way. She had a seizure. She's on her way to the hospital. I don't think she's going to make it through the night. And it was kickoff at the game. And I remember standing there crying because I knew my mother was sick, and we were headed to this game, or we were at the game at kickoff. And and now I have a sister who has a history of mental illness. So I did write about that some, and kind of that experience of trying to, support my sister and my family as we walk through that. So I think the 13 years at home was also helpful because I didn't have a job I had to go to every day, and I was able to have some flexibility, but that did impact my children, I'm sure, because I was away and their dad was busy working, and I was having to really build community and support to help me take care of my children when I was away. So Sister in the Shadow just was a name that meant a lot to me because it spoke about my life in so many ways. So now, as a consultant, I live in the shadows of organizations that are having difficulty communicating and collaborating. And so collaboration is the thing that I do best, like building networks and teaching people to work better together. So with my company, I like to focus on the foundational elements of collaboration to help people learn how to communicate more effectively, whether that's in writing, emails, conversations, understand that words have meaning and they mean different things in different places. Yep. We talk about conflict resolution, emotional intelligence, self-care, which is critical.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And teaching people to navigate systems, basically. So I have recently did a mentorship program that I facilitated and created for EPB, which is our power board and electric power board in our city. Wow. And this was their inaugural mentorship program for executives and newly hired or recently hired employees. And it was really exciting. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is what I need to do with myself. Yeah. And I like to do more of that. So I'm building out some webinars and lunch and learns and that kind of thing so that I can work my 8 to 5 or, and build my company while I work.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love everything about your story. I see some alignment in terms of, my own life, because I was in the shadow with, Jordan and his professional athletic career. So that is a joke for everybody.
Well, you know what? And normally I would lean into it, but yes, guys, in case, spoiler alert, he was not that great of an athlete, unfortunately.
But no, I tell you what we'll do. If you give us, before we put the episode out, if you give us the link,
we'll plug all your info.
We'll plug that out. I know
this will take Mom 5 minutes to explain because she's like, we'll do the plug. It's like, we'll make sure to plug your site. And we appreciate a good name because I think that might be the best thing going for this podcast, if I'm being honest. Mom knows that. I love Sister in the Shadow. I love the alliteration of it. It's cool. It sounds like you're a superhero, like the Dark Knight. So love it. A good name goes a long way. So yeah.
You might make me change my logo now. Superhero.
Just like you and like the shadow, but you sick. Look. And that's for free right there. That's just
look. One of my mentors once told me, his name is Mike Sagawa. I have to give him a shout out. Mike once told me not to get my cloak caught in the door. He's like, you are always trying to help everybody.
You really. I mean, it's impressive. I don't, again, and then it's nice that you have the time now to co-host a podcast with someone you just met. So this is another thing on, and I'm excited to work with you in the future.
So I think we've come to the end of the first episode of season 2.
Great.
So appreciate our guests, hearing your journey, and we're gonna lock in the season 2 for Coach DeBoer, and I think at the end of the season, I think everybody's going to go, oh, Melinda was right about what was going to happen. So that's just me.
Anyway, what does that mean? It was right. What was going to happen?
When I said that Bama's going to be in the Natty.
Right. She said it here first.
Yeah, I said it here first.
Hot take, guys. Here we go. Okay.
Okay. So as we wrap it up, everybody subscribe, share, like, and so Jordan King. Do you know anything about ball?
I try to fake it till I make it. So yeah, I would say I know a little bit, maybe a lot of it, more than I put on about balls. So yeah.
Okay. And Kimberly, I don't really have to ask, but I need to ask. Do you know ball?
She should be asking you.
Look, I know ball.
Kimberly knows ball. Thank you all so much. And We will see you later. Oh, we need to end with a big Duval. Come on, come on.
Duval.
Oh.
Liam Cohen, take notes. That's how you do it. Not that weird eyebrow thing.
Oh, no.
All right, that's it for us.
Thank you for having me.